Hello, how are you doing today? Good, I'm so glad to hear that. Is there anything I can help you with? Okay, so you're looking for vinyls to give as gifts as well as some that you're interested in for yourself? Okay. Okay, so I can imagine that's a really wide range of genres that you're going to be looking for. Yeah, okay. Are there any specific genres or artists that you're looking for? No, you just want to be surprised? Okay. Okay. Well, I have a collection here. Let's see, I can get some stuff sorted. Have you ever shopped for vinyls before? No? Okay. Well, it's a very fun experience. Especially gift giving. Vinyls is one of the best things. Let's see, I have Elvis, for example. And so not only are you, if you're given it as a gift, not only do you have a tangible piece of this artist, but you also have you get to think of the person who gave it to you as well. So you get to connect with that. Like, oh, I remember when, my brother gave this to me, or my dad gifted this to me because it's one of his favorite artists. And it has so much more meaning that way, don't you think? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, since I already showed you, I have one of my Elvis albums. I think I'll start off with the Elvis vinyls that I have. I am a huge Elvis fan. Well, my whole family is, but especially my brother and I. We're definitely Elvis fans. And I have 5 Elvis albums for you here to look at. The first one is Elvis is Back. I think from this album, Such a Night is my favorite one. Such a Night, the song, is one of my favorites. It is so just fun to listen to. But this whole album is just very unique. And I believe it was recorded right when Elvis returned from serving in the army. So this was kind of his little comeback album from the army. Hence the name Elvis is Back. Okay. Next, I have Elvis Country. I apologize, the lighting is kind of weird in here. So hopefully you can see. But this is such a beautiful album. It's basically country songs. And I think Elvis does such a great job with all of them. It is so beautiful. So if you're into more country, then I would recommend this one. Yes, and this is a picture of him when he was very young. Right. So I have a lot of, I guess, different types of albums of Elvis's. This one is Blue Hawaii. So in the 60s, Elvis did a lot of different films, and Blue Hawaii was one of them. So this is a soundtrack. Let's see. And I know for sure you would recognize Can't Help Falling in Love. That is where this came from, or where that song came from, this movie. And I think all the Hawaiian sounds in this are just wonderful. They're Great. Okay. Alright, I have two more here. This one is Elvis Presley, which I may be wrong, but I think it's his first album. I believe it is. I might be wrong on that. But let's see, the years 1950. Oh, originally recorded 1954, 1955, and 1956. So, I believe these are some of his first recordings. So, they're a lot of his older stuff, or from when he was younger. And lastly, I have Elvis from Memphis. I think this is one of my favorite albums. There's something just so beautiful about it. All the songs in it. I just love this album. So I highly recommend it. It is, let's see, from, if I can find what year it's from. I don't remember exactly, but I'm guessing probably late 60s. I don't know. Anyway, this is a great one that I highly recommend. Okay, so that was all of the Elvis collection. Let's see. So, I also have some more contemporary stuff. Well, I do have a lot of older stuff. But let me show you some more contemporary things. If I can get things sorted out properly. Let's see, so much stuff. Okay, so here we go. So I have 4 albums right here that I think are good if you enjoy more alternative type stuff. So, of course, I have Panic at the Disco. This is the Death of a Bachelor album. Death of a Bachelor is one of my favorite Panic at the Disco songs. And this whole album is good. Personally, I found that a whole album of Panic at the Disco was a little bit too much. I personally just can only handle their songs in moderation. But I'm still a fan of Panic at the Disco. I love it. So I have this one. And then, so I have Cage the Elephant. I believe this is I think it's just called Cage the Elephant. I think that's what this album is called. And it's a self-titled album, let's just say. And this one has Ain't No Rest for the Wicked on it, which is one of their most popular songs. So it's a very good album. Then I have Arctic Monkeys. Let's see, I think this is their best album and one of their most popular. Many people recognize the cover of it. And some of these open up. So isn't that so cool? That's the thing about vinyls. You get to see the art on the front. Sometimes there's little surprises like this. They're just so unique. When you go on Spotify, you just get a little tiny picture of the album cover, but this is more, it's more fun, I guess, getting to collect all of these. Lastly, in part of my, well, I have Madonna. So, I guess more contemporary, 80s. It's more contemporary than the other stuff I have. But, I guess this is one of them if you're interested in. I can put it to the side. What I really wanted to show you was this group, Young the Giant. They have a lot of popular songs that I'm sure you would recognize if you heard them. This is from their most recent album, American Bollywood. And I remember the first time I listened to this album, I was like, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. And as you can see, I'm sure you noticed this, that's their signatures. I have a signed copy. So it will cost a little bit more, of course, but I think that's okay because it's a very good album. Yeah, I highly recommend this one. It's they're one of those groups that if you listen to them, you're almost guaranteed to love their music. So yeah, I highly recommend. All right. Now, what is a vinyl collection without the Beatles, of course? I'm a huge Beatles fan. I'm sure as you can see behind me, I have my Beatles clock, the Let It Be album cover, and then a John Lennon album. Okay. I don't have all of the Beatles albums as of right now, but we're working on it. I love old and new Beatles. I love just all of it. So of course we have, oh my goodness, we have the famous Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Lonely Hearts Club Band. Oh my goodness. I must say that A Day in the Life is my favorite Beatles song of all time. It is just a masterpiece, and it is on this album as the very last song. It is just perfection, in my opinion. Okay, then we have Rubber Soul, which is another fantastic album. Absolutely love it. Okay, then we have Revolver, which, oh yes, Eleanor Rigby is on this one, which is a good one. And then Here, There, and Everywhere. Like all of these songs, if you look at the back, it's like, oh, that song is good. That song is good. They're just all good. I love all of them. Now we have With the Beatles. This is one of their older albums. Let's see, and then All My Loving is one of my favorite Beatles songs on here too. I believe this was made in what year? I don't know. The original year. But anyway, absolutely love this one. And then very similar, like around the same time, was A Hard Day's Night, which this was a movie as well. And I highly recommend watching the movie if you are a Beatles fan. It's just very fun to watch. And all the music, of course, is fantastic. So, everyone has a favorite Beatle, and mine is George Harrison. So, I think George Harrison was such a talented songwriter, and he didn't really get to shine too much in the Beatles, so that's why I have, first of all, I have this album. It's one of his older ones with Got My Mind Set on You. such a good one. But this is my most special one. The All Things Must Pass album. As you can see, it's not just an album. It is a collection of albums, including, let me see if I can open it. Sorry, I'm having some difficulties. But it is a 50th anniversary collection. I believe the album came out in 1970. And I think it is one of the greatest albums of all time. So, here's one of them. They come in these little sleeves like this. And so this whole collection includes like jam sessions and other outtakes. So if the whole album isn't enough for you, I love just listening to the little jam sessions. Very fun stuff. And I recommend this one to any George Harrison fan. It's just very, very special. Okay. Alright. I also have the Give Me Truth John Lennon album. And let me show you if I can get it. It is this beautiful, like, light blue color. It's very shiny, but it is so gorgeous. And that's the thing about vinyl. Sometimes they're not just all the same color. You get little surprises in there. Sometimes there's clear vinyls. They could be any color. They could be sparkly. They could be whatever. And it just adds to the fun of them. Also, in terms of more 80s music, I have, three Genesis albums. So Genesis was a band in the 80s with Phil Collins. I don't know much about Genesis. This is mainly from my dad that I learned all this, and I'm trying to learn more about them. Let's see. So far, I'm quite a fan. I haven't been able to listen to all of these. I've listened to Abacab, which I love this album. But all their songs are great, and I highly recommend. I wish I could give you more insight on, let's see, Invisible Touch, as well as, I think this is just the self-titled, let's see, 1983. And so these are all original copies from the 80s, which is really cool. And so if you like Phil Collins from Genesis, I do have these right here. Let's see. Which you might know Phil Collins from, he did In the Air Tonight from, was it from the Tarzan movie? Well, he did the Tarzan soundtrack, and then he did In the Air Tonight, which everyone knows that song. So, I have a lot of those options. Let's see. I don't have much more, but we cannot forget about ABBA. I think ABBA is one of the greatest things that has ever been on this earth. Every single song of theirs is good, even if it's a song that's not popular at all. You listen to it, and your mood just automatically increases. It's wonderful. I think everyone needs ABBA in their life. Both of these albums are so good. I could just listen to them all the time. I think ABBA is just pure joy. I know a lot of people find ABBA annoying, but I don't understand that. I know a lot of people who are like, I cannot listen to ABBA. I'm like, whatever. I'm not listening to you. And of course, I have Elton John. This is a fantastic album. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is one of the best songs of all time. It's just perfection. See, and then we also have Don't Shoot Me. I'm Only the Piano Player, and I know this one has Crocodile Rock on it, which that song is pure joy. Let's see, and then lastly, these are some random ones I have. But this is more classical, so I don't know if you've heard of The Planets. It's pretty popular. I'm sure you'd recognize a lot of it. But this is classical music, and then we have some campfire songs. This was just a random little find. But if you want some campfire songs in your life, then I would go for it. Right, so I think that is all I have to show you. Do you have any questions or any that you know for sure you want to buy? Okay. So yeah, here, I'll get those sorted out for you. Sorry, I feel like I talk on and on about those. I get very passionate about artists and music in general, and vinyls. Oh my gosh, of course. Now, I hope you enjoy these as much as I do. Now, I'm always looking for more vinyls, but they can get pretty expensive. They kind of add up pretty quickly, so you have to buy them in moderation. Yeah. Okay, is that it? Okay. Alright, well, thank you so much for coming in today. Alright, you have a good day. Bye.